The AI models are showing something really interesting for XRP right now. We've got a golden cross forming while institutions are pulling money out. Let's break it down. Here's where we are right now. XRP is sitting at $1.1621, up 2.32% in the last 24 hours. You know what I've noticed? We started July with a really strong 13% push upward, and that momentum is still hanging around. The price action is telling us a story of quiet strength, even though not everyone's paying attention yet. Now, this is where it gets interesting from a technical standpoint. The RSI is sitting pretty at 51.26, which means we're in that sweet spot, not overbought, not oversold. Here's the thing though, the MACD just flipped positive to 0.0084, and that histogram turn, that's usually when things start moving. We're trading above the Bollinger Band middle line at $1.1139, which keeps us in bullish territory. But here's what caught my attention. We're still 23.49% below that 200-day moving average. That gap, that's opportunity. The big macro story today is actually about correlations. XRP has a strong negative correlation with the dollar at minus 0.7033, which means when the dollar weakens, XRP tends to strengthen. What's really interesting is we're also negatively correlated with the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, so we're moving independently from traditional markets. With Bitcoin pushing above $63,000, the whole crypto space is getting that recovery vibe. On the regulatory front, things are pretty quiet, which is actually good news. The most interesting development is an Australian politician, Sally Situ, officially disclosing her XRP holdings. When politicians start openly holding crypto, well, that tells us something about where the regulatory wind is blowing. No major threats on the horizon right now. Here's something that always makes me chuckle. The Fear and Greed Index is sitting at 22, which means extreme fear. You know what I've learned over the years? Extreme fear often creates the best buying opportunities. XRP's search trends are at a modest 39, so we're not seeing any FOMO yet. The crowd isn't excited, and that's usually when the smart money moves in. The whales are doing something interesting. We saw 108 whale transactions moving over 1.4 billion XRP, accounting for 99.9% of total volume. That's a lot of big money moving around. While this could create volatility, it also means there's serious institutional interest and liquidity support. The big players are positioning themselves. In plain English, the Elliott Wave analysis suggests we're finishing up a corrective phase. Think of it like a slingshot being pulled back before it launches. The Wyckoff analysis puts us in what they call the markdown phase, which sounds scary, but actually means we might be transitioning from selling pressure to accumulation. Once this correction wraps up, we could see targets around $1.40 to $1.50. So what does the AI think? This is fascinating. The short-term model says we might dip to $1.0866 first, with about 50% probability. But here's where it gets exciting. The 7-day model is screaming bullish. It's predicting $1.4875 with a 98.5% probability. That's a 28% gain in just 1 week. The 30-day model brings us back down to $1.0500. So the pattern is small dip, big rally, then correction. Classic volatility cycle. But here's what could go wrong. Those ETF outflows of $20.5 million show institutions are still cautious. And with 99.9% of volume coming from whales, we're pretty dependent on big players. If they decide to take profits all at once, well, that could get bumpy. The extreme fear in the market could also persist longer than expected. Here's my take. I'm leaning toward gradual accumulation, not aggressive buying. The setup looks good for a medium-term rally. Entry points. Primary zone around $1.10 to $1.12. Or, if we get that short-term dip, $1.05 to $1.08 would be even better. Stop loss at $1, because that's major psychological support. First target is $1.35. Second target is $1.48 based on that AI prediction. This looks like a wait and see with medium-term bullish bias situation to me. That's it for today. The setup is interesting. The AI is bullish for next week, and the technicals are lining up. If this helped you see the bigger picture, hit that subscribe button and give it a like. See you next time.